Thank you so much, Saeed. It's always a pleasure to have him here with us for the soft launch of Houston. My name is Neda Amidi, and I run our healthcare program at Plug and Play globally. Right as I wrap up, if I could ask the people on the sides to come sit in the middle, it would just make it more fun for the people that are presenting to have an audience to look at in the center. And after that, I will not make anyone move anymore, I promise. But we launched our healthcare program at Plug and Play actually in 2015. We had Johnson & Johnson, they have a big presence here at TMC as well, as one of our partners, initially in our IoT program, so Internet of Things. And they were interested in having a standalone healthcare program where we have startups in the health and wellness space, focusing on specific challenges, whether it's in diabetes or medication adherence or different topics that they initially came up with. And we launched that program with them in October 2015. This was around the time where we started doing these vertical programs within Plug and Play. And the goal was really to make an impact and a difference in the healthcare space, especially with the startups that we were connecting to our corporate partners and also investing in. So currently for health, we operate in 4 locations. I'll give you a little bit of a deep dive into each location and what we do with the partners there. In Silicon Valley, we have a number of pharmaceutical partners, so you'll see folks like Roche, Sanofi, Boehringer Ingelheim that are dictating the focus areas of that program. We have a number of hospital systems and providers as partners in our Cleveland program. So we're working in collaboration with Cleveland Clinic, University Hospitals, and Philips Healthcare and Jumpstart there locally. And then we have more industry partners across the healthcare value chain as well. Oh, if we can go back. Oh, I can go back. So the reason why we do what we do is to make investments. So we as Plug and Play focus on pre-seed, seed, and Series A. Our check sizes range anywhere from $25K to $500K. And our average check size is somewhere between $100 to $150K in each individual startup. And today you'll actually hear from several of our portfolio companies that will be presenting. Last year we did about 30 investments in healthcare. This year we're looking to do about the same, but also adding Houston and Cleveland and Munich to our investment portfolio as well. And you'll actually hear from some of our portfolio companies from Cleveland, MedPilot today as well. In Silicon Valley, we have more of the pharma partners that I mentioned on the right-hand side that really dictate the focus areas of the program. So every 6 months, we collect our partners' focus areas and topics, and that's what we use to source for the startups that go through the 3-month accelerator programs. In Silicon Valley, we have about 14 partners. We've done 8 batches to date, so a batch consists of about 20 startups. And we run a 3-month program where during the 3 months, the startups travel to Silicon Valley to participate in our focus weeks. That's when we run the curriculum of the program and really match these startups to corporations that are interested in piloting, licensing, or strategically investing in these companies. And so currently, we actually have our program coming to an end next week. June 12th will be our expo or our demo day, where we'll actually have the former CEO of Cleveland Clinic, Dr. Toby Cosgrove, doing a fireside chat with Saeed. So I invite everyone to join us there. It'll be in the afternoon, and any of us from Plug and Play can share the information about that. Some of the topic areas that we have in Silicon Valley, definitely they gear more towards the pharmaceutical industry. So some topics that may be of interest to the audience here as well. But these are really the topics that we use with our ventures team, and you'll hear from Kim Kruger as well, to source companies on the partners' interest areas. I'll have a short video here on our Cleveland program. If we could play that.
Plug and Play, we're an early stage investor and accelerator. We make investments anywhere from $20,000 up to $500,000. Our average ticket size is about $100,000. We do anywhere from 200 to 250 investments per year.
To give you a little bit of...
There's so many huge issues and challenges in digital health, and so we're really excited and motivated, and we have a lot of confidence that Plug and Play is going to be able to bring the big cos and the small companies and the startups together to solve really significant, important problems in healthcare.
And so we're really looking for startups all over the world who that we'd like to attract to Cleveland to engage the Cleveland Clinic, and we'd like to build a whole base around the healthcare sector, engaging providers, payers, medical device companies, and pharmaceutical companies to really all come together to bring new technology to market faster.
Cleveland Clinic is interested in Plug and Play because it's a source of looking at disruptive innovations from around the world. Early indications confirm our hopes that Plug and Play is really impressive and strong in the job of getting lists of companies, filtering those companies, and delivering the best of them.
It is obviously very vibrant. People seem to be engaged, and they, from what I've heard, they really enjoy the interaction, and I believe that there's a lot of potential here.
And we had 20 startups, over 20 startups in the healthcare space present. We had 10 startups in other verticals that presented, and we're excited to bridge this gap between Silicon Valley and Cleveland. Great, so that gives you a little snapshot of our Cleveland program. We promised to order vests for Houston as well. Not exactly vest weather in Houston, although for Saeed it's always vest weather, so we'll be ordering those soon. But essentially we launched that program about a year back. Cleveland Clinic and Jumpstart and University Hospitals were the founding partners for that program. They made several trips out to Silicon Valley, and they were interested in replicating something like what we have in Silicon Valley and Cleveland. So our home in Cleveland is at the Global Center in downtown Cleveland, where we have tenants like GE and Siemens and others, and we're kind of the Plug and Play showcase area for startups. So there we have about 6 partners. We've run 3 batches to date, and we have 24 startups total that have been accelerated there. Some of the topics there definitely probably are resembling the topics that the group here would be interested in. We actually look at topics outside of healthcare within Cleveland as well, like Enterprise 2.0, supply chain, and other topics as well. But these are also revisited on a 6-month basis. A little snapshot of the engagements. So we've had about 7 pilot engagements. You'll actually hear from one of the startups, Giant, that's in a pilot currently with Cleveland Clinic, and they can share more about that. But we're really excited about the engagement that we have there locally with our partners, and look to replicate that here in Houston, especially given that there's similar focus areas and similar challenges in the healthcare industry. And then in Munich, we launched this program last year as well in March. We have 2 partners there. So Roche, we're working with their diagnostic team. You may ask why Munich. It's close to the Pennsburg headquarters where the diagnostic team is based. So we purposely put these programs close to the headquarters of the partners to really get that engagement and that face time with the clinical champions and business unit heads. There, we've done 2 batches and 22 startups, and if anyone is interested in joining us in Munich, we'll have the expo there on June 27th. So invite anyone that would like to join us there as well. We'll share that info. And then lastly, the topics that we cover there, more on the diagnostic side, but also from a consumer healthcare side with Sanofi, focusing on topics like sleep, nutrition, and allergy as well. There, every startup that gets into the program gets a pilot with the 2 partners that we have. And this slide just shows you a little bit about batch 1 and what we did through our batch 1. The startups had 3 deep dive sessions where these are 3-day focus weeks with a lot of one-on-ones with their pilot owners. We have 7 kind of active pilots, and then we also had Sanofi that came on board as a founding partner. And that's it on my side. Thank you so much. And with that, I'd like to first thank TMC and TMCX for hosting us the past 2 days. Also would like to thank the Plug and Play team. There's a lot of people in the background that make this event happen, and they're really the engine behind Plug and Play. So round of applause for our operations team. And with that, I'd like to welcome Lance Black. He's the Associate Director at TMCX to give us our keynote. Thank you. Thanks.